Welcome back. It is Issues at Hand. Peter Kibazo, your host, with me, Mr. Paul Mungereza, and yes, the population and housing census. Our lines are displayed on the set. You're able to talk to us. In addition to that, I see a number of calls that are coming in. Someone says, Peter, I'm a sports fan, and I'd like to hear from, he still calls you doctor. You have to bear with that. Possibly you'll correct it along the way. He says, I would like to hear from Dr. Ben Mungereza where the stats are so that we are able to plan for the sports field in this country. Then he goes on and says, universities in this country are training against a void. Do you share the information with universities of the desired labor in the market, or do you just allow them to train without a brief to you? Do you have links with our education institutions? Thank you. I'll take this one as well. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good evening. Your name, question or comment?
I'm Dr. Kasumba.
Yes.
And now I'd like to pose a question to Dr. Paul.
Yes, go right ahead.
I think Dr. Paul is not doing, the UBOS is not doing right because the publicity to census is not being made right. Because when you look at the banners these people that are being made for the census, really small banners are being put up, then we need the information to be in different languages. Then also, when you look at the amount of money, and I've ever done an household survey, the amount of money that is going to be paid to enumerators is not right because this is low amount. It's not going to motivate them. And when you look at institutions like universities, how is the census going to be carried on in halls of residence? Then two, Dr. Paul needs to involve all the other people in his organization. I'm looking at all televisions and he's the only person that is talking about census. Where are the rest of the people in the institution that you have seen? I'm Dr. Kasumba, University. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Geoffrey Kasumba. As well as that, Dr. Paul, we had a question, I think, from Nansana, Mr. Wakaima, asking that people that have been recruited in his area, he doesn't know. Who are they? He says that the people that they have recruited within this area, I don't know, they are not from within our area, and you're saying that the census has been localized for people from within the community.
You see, Mr. Kasumba, when we decentralize and we give divisions authority to do recruitment with supervision from KCC headquarters, the town clerks were given the responsibility to recruit. The only problem with Kampala is that you may have your neighbor and you don't know them.
Mm.
Even when you are an LC official, by the way, you may not know your people. Because I know there are people who get up very early morning and leave, and you will never know them as an LC one chairperson. So that issue has been coming up, and we seem not to be touching it because for us, we gave the divisions the responsibility through KCCA to do that recruitment. And as much as possible, they try to recruit. But now, for example, if somebody lives in Machindi and goes and looks for a job in Kawempe,
yes,
it may be very difficult for people to know that this person comes from exactly Kawempe. Very difficult. And therefore, there's a bit of a problem. So we cannot solve that, and unfortunately, the recruitments have been completed.
It's closed.
It's closed. Then I go to somebody who...
The gentleman from Makere?
Yeah, statistics on sports. I would urge this person to come and visit our office, and I get his interest. Because I know one time we were trying to ask ourselves, how does statistics influence sport?
Mm-hmm.
I am not a football fan, unfortunately.
Yes.
But you may wish to know that when we are predicting the winner and the loser we use probabilities. And that is statistics. You know, I read an article, I think one of those few sports articles I've read, that although Germany had a probability, I think of 0.3 or so of winning the World Cup, it ended up winning. So these are probabilities. So I would have interest in this person coming to me and tells me, because we can pick interest in this area. Sharing information. Yes, we share information with educational institutions.
Yes, that was very important.
Yes, we share publications with universities, and we also, sometimes we are invited to give talks to students at the university. You may also wish to know that during this census, we are partnering with Makerere University, School for Statistics and Planning. We are partnering with Chambogo University, Department for Statistics. We are partnering with the Kampala International University, Department of Statistics. And they are with my officers out there in the field, supervising the census. And this would help them to train their students in a more practical manner. I would go to Mr. Kasumba.
Yes, the one specifically about you, he's saying that even when you talk about involvement, from what he's seeing, there is only involvement
It's
of
only
the ED.
the ED. You know, it's actually, I must say that this evening, I tried to look around for somebody to come and attend this talk show. But all my people are up country. But let me mention that yesterday, on top television, there was my PR. About 2 days ago, the National Census Coordinator was on another television station. Another day, the Deputy Publicity was another TV station and radio stations. So you may find that it's by coincidence that Mr. Kasumba only watches the
when you are there.
when I'm there. Maybe he likes seeing me. But definitely I'm not monopolizing on this. And of course there are some programs, for example, which are in Uganda. And some of my colleagues who are more fluent in Uganda take up these programs. On the banners, the small banners,
Publicity and visibility.
publicity, I think I think our publicity is doing well, and would like to get feedback from you. You know, when you tell us that we're not doing well, for us we love that, because then, you know, in PR terms, if you tell me that I'm not doing well, then I style up. But I would like to mention that, for example, we have got billboards. If you have seen billboards, they're very big and they're scattered around the country. So these are not small. We are also using radios, we are using television stations, but we are also using the local authorities, particularly in the districts. They are using local authorities to spread the information.
Let me get into dates and what expectations you have of the population. Dates again, when is the population and housing census?
We start on 28th August.
Yes.
That's when the enumeration begins. And we enumerate for 10 days. So we end on 6th September 2014.
What do you expect of the population?
We would like the population to cooperate with our enumerators. Our enumerator will come putting on an orange apron. He will be having a black and orange bag with a big questionnaire. That's a landmark. So we ask you to cooperate with them. Give them the correct information. Welcome them. Don't chase them away. And if you are not in, please leave information. Now, not the date of 27th, the night of 27th, going the morning of 28th. Because that, everybody would have spent the night in the country. That night will be enumerated, including the students at the university. These are in the institution, and we call it institutional population. We have a method of enumerating them, and we enumerate them the first day of enumeration, which is 28th. Even prisoners, even patients in the hospital, even street children, we enumerate them. And we have got our methodologies for enumerating them. So my appeal to everybody.
Are there any sensitive uncomfortable questions that people should expect? Because
No.
I know previously there's been situations where people wouldn't volunteer information because they think this is beyond what I would want to give.
No. All the information is really general. We're asking you your name, your age, your marital status, what activity you're involved in, what your household uses, whether they have salt, whether they have sugar, you know, what kind of water they use for drinking, which hospitals you go to. And then we go to the women of reproductive age, 12 to 54. We ask them about the number of children they have ever got alive. And how
That
many are
usually
dead.
is a sensitive question, especially here in the central region. You ask men how many children they have, and they will possibly not give you the right data.
But earlier on, you asked how the census is related to the 2040 vision. Now, by knowing the number of children a woman has produced, it helps us to calculate.
Those are two people you are addressing. If you are asking the woman the number of children, you're most likely to get the right answer. If you ask the men...
We are not asking the men. Because we know that men will not tell us the truth. And in any case,
Well, I would
when
tell
we
you.
are calculating fertility, we don't ask questions from men.
Thank you very much, Ben Paul Mungereza. And viewers, like we said, there's still a lot more interaction on the census that will go on, a lot more within our bulletins, within different advertisements that we'll run. And if need be, we will ask them back here. Been a pleasure hosting you here.
Thank you. Good evening.
And good evening.